Hello everybody and welcome back to Roadwarden. We have a mission today. Last time we made it to Gale Rocks, which took a long time, it was very, very rough, but here we are, we made it there, and now the only place we have left to unlock and explore is Old Pagos. And we learned a little bit more along the way. The druid over here, the old druid, can't cure it himself, but that tree that we were messing with a while ago can. And we're gonna see if hopefully we can save Old Pagos. I think that's really the last place we have to go. But let's see. We could get to the tree, that's 30 minutes, and then it's 1 hour and 15 to get to Howler's Dell. We have 2 hours before dusk. The problem is it's probably gonna take us a little bit to figure out what's going on. So I think we're gonna go to Howler's Dell, rest there, and then we'll go to the tree. So let's head to Howler's Dell. It is now 45 minutes before dusk. Oh! You approach the opening gate, then swiftly dismount. A guard approaches you, ready to take your mount to a stable. Welcome, Yabby. How's the outside world for you? Aw, somebody knows my name. Everyone else just calls me Roadwarden. Or they just don't even bother to get to know me. I'll chat with you for a bit. The curious locals gather around to take part in your conversation. Recently, a baker fell asleep while making pies, wasting meat and flour. Oof. Normally I'd be like, that's silly, but it's like, in this world, in this land, you gotta be careful. You're wandering through the village. A couple of older people are gossiping with excitement while they grind grains with millstones. A group of children covered in mud gathers by your mountain, argues loudly about what's better, horses or donkeys. Timo is the one, I believe. Hang on, I need to look at my notes again. Okay, Timo, hardworking man who'd like to marry her. Either move in with her or take her to a new home. Lives in another village and is interested. Paulus, new home, willing to work hard to help his future wife take care of their children. It was Timo and Paulus I wanted to put together, so let's speak to Timo real quick. She's at the creek, but takes a break to speak with you, apologizing for her crude appearance. She gasps for air, with her hands on her knees, but looks you directly in the eyes. I tell her about Paulus. Sounds like a worker, but make sure he will nay oppose the marriage rites. His village follows the rite. I need his word he'll leave his spirit behind him. If he agrees, her teeth are yellowish but healthy, he can come and fall. We'll see how we can get along. Alright, see you soon. Off to go and tell him. But I need to go to sleep. You approach the inn. It's getting darker, but not much colder. More than a dozen locals are gathered at or by the tables, playing dice or other games, drinking, eating supper, or simply chatting. The innkeeper is standing behind his counter, filling mugs with beer or buttermilk, while his daughter is cleaning the tables with a wet cloth and carrying around a bucket of stream water. Theus is nowhere to be seen. Pyros is sitting on a bench near the creek bank, apparently napping, though he winks at you when he catches your glance. Alright, I'll go. I just need to sleep. Let's see. We have 10 dragon bones, and I'm not willing to lose anything. We need all the health and food we can get, so we're gonna rent, we're gonna have comfy space, and then we're gonna go die to a tree. You gotta do what you gotta do, as the Roadwarden. You spend the night in peace, in a clean bed with a tightly shut window and a warm blanket. In the morning, you find a stool placed by your bed, covered with a bowl of oatmeal based on mufflin milk with berries, nuts, and honey. Once you get dressed and go downstairs, a young boy, who's covered in mud and speaks unusually loud and enthusiastically, mentions that Joffrey has already been brushed and watered. You nod, but he runs outside without noticing it. The innkeeper is sitting near the door, from time to time carrying out another bowl with either stew or gruel. Theus is nowhere to be seen. Pyros is sitting on a bench near the creek bank, apparently napping, though he winks at you when he catches your glance. Always winking, always winking. Let me chat with you very quick. Hey, Roadster, need anything? Bye! Alright, we're leaving the square. We are going to travel straight to the tree. We have a mission, and we have full health if anything happens. And we have that little pendant we got, too. Maybe that can help us with this. Oh, it gets so quiet when we come here, too. You reach the crossroads. The wind is moving the branches gently. You think you see a moving root, but as you observe it, it lies still. This tree knows what I want. You gotta give it to me. I approach the altar. The cream-colored limestone is cold and smooth. The wind is moving the branches gently. Make an offering. What is your sacrifice? What was the thing I got again? Spirit rock. Let's see. Spirit rock. As soon as you lay it on the stone slab, the pebble hisses for less than a single breath, then shatters into a dozen of tiny rocks, not much larger than grains of sand. The tree greets your offering with the sound of moving and stretching branches. So did that help? We're gonna save. I think we need to offer blood. Oh, the cream-colored limestone, moving slowly, and some of the branches are now visibly longer. Okay, I gotta offer my blood. How much blood do you sacrifice? Oh, I don't know. I mean, we were told it would be a big sacrifice, and you guys have warned me that this tree likes blood. So I think we need to make a big play. We can go back to Howler's Dell. We have the money to rest up for a bit. As much as I can before I faint. Oh, your blood spills on the altar and sinks into it before it gets to the edges. The sound of moving, stretching branches occurs almost immediately. Oh no. Is that it? Is that not enough? I guess I walk away? You don't see any creatures nor humans. Can I look at the roots? You kneel in front of one that's lying on the shore. It's brown, covered with hair that resembles that on your arm. When you touch it, it's moist, soft, and warmer than you'd expect. What am I supposed to do? I do something with it? What do you do? Blood. I pet. I hug. I mean, it's really dirty and disgusting. So what? The root is soft and doesn't resist your touch. You hold it tightly, even though its smell is not far off from the stench of water which it sticks out. While your gambeson keeps it away, you can still feel its warmth, or maybe it's just a trick of your imagination. After a couple of moments, it doesn't look like it's trying to hurt you, but you feel a pulse of sorts. Okay. Kiss. Like I said! The root is soft and doesn't resist your touch. Its smell... Okay, yeah. After a couple moments, your lips start to itch. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's approach the altar. I'm too weak to offer my blood. Oh, shoot. I have a magical item? What item would you like to sacrifice? I don't have anything. Ugh. It didn't work. I don't know. It's moving. It's doing something. Do we just need to give it more? I've already given it so much. Do I just go back and forth? Maybe I can grab a healing potion or something? I don't know what to do. I guess I can run back to Gale Rocks and get Pyrus? Whatever the person is over here. I'm gonna get them and have them do the thing. Oh, the peat fields. Have I been there before? I don't know. There was a lot going on. Do I have anything that can heal me? Oh, Dragonling's Paw. Its detached clean claws could be worth something. Does that count as a magic item? Wild plants, food rations. I don't have like a healing potion or anything, do I? I have troll urine. Oh, maybe I could clear the fallen tree? But probably not in this situation. Where is the fallen tree? Oh, it's here. Crossing it slows you down. Should we try? I am badly injured now, but let's see if we can do something, and then we can always rest. We'll try. Feel like I already screwed myself over, but let's see. I can't get rid of this obstacle all by myself. Oh, shoot. I need help. Let's travel here. Is there anything else here? There's nothing else for me to do here. Well, that was a waste of time. Let's go to the Pelts of the North. Oh, no, wait. Didn't I get a key for the abandoned watchtower? Is that their watchtower, or did they have a different watchtower? I don't know. Let's go check it out. I'm kind of just wandering now. I was really hoping I'd get through the tree today, but I don't think we will. Approach the entrance. You take a look at Joffrey. If necessary, it could bow its head and walk inside. The place could be a decent shelter for both of you. The planks are strong, heavy, well protected from the rain and wind, and when you knock, they seem to be thick. While the door shakes at your push, it won't open. Defensive structures usually have a locking bar on the inner side, but you also see a large keyhole. You walk around the tower, making sure there are no open windows or other entrances. It doesn't look like you can get in without destroying the door, and doing so is going to make a potential entryway for wild creatures. Well, I have the key now. It goes smoothly in, and after a bit of fidgeting, you find the right spot. You hear the heavy mechanism giving into your will, followed by the creaking, rusty hinges. An empty table stands in the middle of a large round room filled with dusty furniture. Without the open door, you'd struggle to see anything. Alright, let's wait. Patience. The first thing you notice is that the room isn't high, and just like the windows suggested, there's the second floor above it. The scent sparks an image of a cellar, humid but without much mustiness. Tree stumps used as stools surround a round table in the center, now covered in dust. The shelves are empty with no tools left behind, and you see a couple of dishes laying in various spots, empty, sticky. The bugs are crawling on both the furniture and near the walls. Spiders, roaches, worms. You think about taking a look into one of the casks, but the smell coming from it makes you change your plan. Instead, you climb up the ladder. The view there isn't much different. The floor is covered with pieces of trash, dirty furniture, and sleeping pallets, which are moist, smelly, and full of wriggling and chirping creatures. I don't care about the bugs. I ignore them. You climb down. Joffrey is looking at the grass outside, still touched by sunlight. You approach the windows, each one locked with heavy wooden bars. Opening them would not be a problem, but knocking them down from the outside won't be an easy task. You sigh with relief. This is a safe place. Let's see. Following the clue from Old Pagos, I look for anything that Asterion could have left behind. That's a good idea. You start to move around all sorts of furniture, light and heavy. Among various pieces of garbage that you have to push aside, you find something unusual in the space between one of the pallets and the wall. An old, molding wax tablet. There are some writings inside of it. Other than that, the place seems to be empty, unless you count broken pottery and ragged clothes. Let's see. Let me read it. I am literate. I open it and take a closer look. As far as you can tell, the tablet is filled with small pictures and chaotic notes focused on the construction of boats and oars, as well as the nature of volcanoes. One word seems to be a name. Navica. I had it in my bag and put everything back into place. Time to wash my hands. The ground floor, dozens of little creatures. Okay, so we want a bug repellent. We shouldn't rest here tonight. I am too injured. You're on the verge of death. I know! Is there anything interesting among the spruce trees? I can't remember if I did this before. It must be a human-made copse. Only the smallest of spruces are out of order, born of wild seeds. The largest trees are as tall as the tower itself, which surely doesn't help those who were meant to observe their surroundings. There's also some stumps, most of which used to belong to young saplings. These trees were likely meant to be sold to carpenters and coopers, but they were left alone many years ago. In the copse, you find wild fennel and lettuce thriving in shadows, and there are pears and berries growing among nearby trees and shrubs. Okay. I'll forage. Joffrey grazes at the fence while you cross the short meadows, seeking edible leaves and fennel, sorrel, and lettuce that hide in the shadows of spruce trees, forcing you to get on your knees and push the branches away. After some time, with needles in your hood and sleeves, you carry the vegetables to the gate, washing them with your water skin and spreading them on a blanket, allowing them to dry up. As you pick up the very few remaining pears and berries, you notice a wide tree hollow. You take a look inside and find a stash of acorns, and chestnuts, and also walnuts and hazelnuts. I'll just take the fruit. What else can we do? Secluded residence. For some reason spared by wild beasts. Should we check this out? I don't know if I haven't been here in a while. Well, we've got 7 hours before dusk, so let's check it out a little bit. We haven't been in here yet. The meadow is so quiet that it makes you slow down. You touch the cold chest. There is no response. Oh yeah, this was the gargoyle. Let's see what happens if we wait. It's getting colder, but finally, the monster's eyes glow red. Go inside. I'll be with you soon. The monster's eyes darken again. Soon after, you hear heavy steps and the earth shakes. Something lifts the beam, blocking the gate. You realize that your hand is already on the haft of your axe. One day, such instincts are going to save my life. The gate opens violently and rebounds with a loud thud, almost closing again. The creature in front of you is made of floating rocks that appear to be connected, but it's just an illusion. They could twist and bend in every direction. The eyeless sentinel faces you blankly. You've seen other golems in Hovleven, endlessly helping with bothersome tasks, but you've no idea what makes them move. It lowers its slab-like hands and steps aside, making way for you. Its head rotates following your steps, but other than that, it's as motionless as a statue. How long did it take her to let me in? 3.5 hours? Oh no! Hope I can get somewhere. The house in front of you has a huge entrance, just large enough for a golem. The building is whitewashed, but the lime is aged and damaged. The tools are spread around in no particular order. The rocks resting on the top of the shed resemble the golems. A few birds stare at you from the roofs, while many more ignore you. None seem willing to approach the garden patches despite the growing, though neglected, vegetables. It's quiet here. I'll approach the sitting golem. It seems dead, inactive, as city folk would call it, but the pneuma still makes its chunks float less than an inch away from one another. It doesn't react to your presence. Unlike the previous golem, this one bears engraved signs on its larger rocks. Their meaning is unclear to you, and you can't tell if they're a decoration or carriers of a spell. A leaf of the doors opens. Oh, I have knowledge. I know these letters. The signs represent regular words used in rites tablets. Their shapes are very old, angular, and not adjusted to the softness of a quill. The words read as follows: hunt, prey, chase, meet, beast, run, bring, wait, and disguise. The golem's owner is standing behind you. Oh shit, hey, hi. How you doing? The woman is tall and stands upright, with her arms crossed and legs apart. She's more than 30, with a face touched by lack of sleep. She gives you a long look, observing your blade, hands, boots, forehead, everything but your eyes. I greet ya. Without the distortion caused by the gargoyle, her strong voice isn't as disquieting. No surprise it caught your eye, but don't disturb it. It's very much awoken and will defend itself, or me, if it comes to it. Give her a better look. She's wearing a long, ragged robe covered in stains. It used to be blue, but is now unevenly pale. She's barefoot with skin covered with dust and dirt. Her dark hair was recently washed, but it's so untidy spread on her shoulders, back, and chest. She wears no jewelry, belt, or buckles. Let's see. Let's get to it. Takes quite a few hours to reach this place. Glad to have a moment to spare. I won't bother you for long. I don't say anything. Let's get to it. Thank you for agreeing to see me. Let's be vulnerable. Just not sad, tired, or hopeless. I think we're just being polite in a way. Well, I guess this is more... There's not really one that's polite. Honestly, this probably isn't the best either, because technically I just stood there until she finally let me inside, but thank you for agreeing to see me. She absently stares at your nose. If you're looking for help, you came to the wrong place. I don't make sacrifices for others. If you need to bother me, speak in the tongue of dragons and barter. It's not a sanctuary. I offer no bed or stew. She walks past you and cocks her head towards the golem who let you in. It turns around and shuts the gate. Good that you came at such an hour. Keep it up in the future. If you ever come here in the middle of the day, you'll stand outside looking at the doors like an ibex. I definitely wasn't standing outside for a long time. We don't need more salutations, so... Her voice gets cold, harsh. Why are you here? I'm looking for Asterion, the previous Roadwarden. Nah, he's not here. Not even a mouse in my shed. She meets your eyes, yet her gray irises remain silent. Her sigh turns into a snort. Aught else? So much. Oh my god, so much. I have so much to talk to you about. Do you have anything interesting to sell? Well, I'm not a trader, but I do sell the stuff people ask me about, and they're not for sale. She glances at the house, then towards a pocket at her hips. There's but one tool I'm willing to part with, for 10 bones, but it's for spellcasters only. She reaches out to you. On her open palm, you see a flat, small pebble, bluish, but in no way unusual. You put it in your mouth and press it to your palate. No chewing. She smirks. If you're a sorcerer, it will restore your pneuma. I'll think about it. Couldn't I use that at the tree? I don't have 10 dragon bones, though. It is a spirit rock! Aw, dang it, and I just don't have enough. I found a barren field that may be affected by a curse. Do you have anything I could use to see if I'm right? A cursed field? Where do you find this stuff? As you explain briefly, she observes your boots. I know the place, but... She steps away and approaches the garden patch by her house. She observes it for a moment, then kneels down, paying no attention to her robe, and reaches for a wooden spade. What she digs out looks like a tree sapling with 2 leaves that are as large as a hand and a thin, elastic stalk. It's shorter than your head. Would you look at that? Still green. Give me 2 dragons, and I'll put it in a bag with soil. It should survive at least a couple days. How does it work? She straightens up. Well, you plant it, of course. Wait for half an hour and you'll see. If it grows an inch... She frowns and raises the plant to her eyes, and grunts. Forget it. If it bursts into bloom, the soil is enchanted. If it withers, it's cursed. Stays the same, no pneuma. She lowers it again. Just be careful when you do it. It loves fogs. So it's a plant that grows by magic? Yes, and it costs 2 dragons. Fine, I'll take it. She lets out a satisfied grunt. A few hunters recently left the creeks and haven't returned so far. Dahlia, Admund, and Vashel. Have you met them? Admund. He was here all right. Asked me about the lands east of the stone bridge in the north, but I couldn't help him much. Those lands are better off left to... She pauses, then waves it off. Alright. Well, that's something I didn't know before, I don't think. I bring news from the west. Old Pagos is facing a grave plague. She stands still. Come again? While you describe the symptoms, she starts to fidget, and finally interrupts you. Cut it! Have you heard aught about Eulalia and Irenaeus? They're about 50, 55, a mason and a sculptor. Her eyes are getting bad. He has a limp. They wouldn't let me in! She rubs her arms above her elbows as if to warm herself up. If you ever ride there again, she meets your eyes. Ask around, please. I need to know. If I had more dragon bones, I could get that from you, and then maybe I could do something about it. Could you fill an item of mine with Numa? That's not how this works. She points at her golem. Her nails are short and clean and her hands are soft. I work all the time, but each item takes me days, sometimes a full season. The tribes bring me things to enchant in the early spring and collect them a year later. I've got to... She blinks a few times, not sure what to say. Her gray eyes widen. Imagine stuff. It takes great focus. You mentioned that you generously reward her, but she only shrugs. Generously reward her with what? I have 6 dragon bones. You don't plant, you don't build, I won't eat dragon bones. For now, do your warden duties and come by at the end of autumn. Maybe I'll have time to get something done for you after the thaws. Alright, I'll think about it. Do you have a job for me? Oh, I've heard about some bandits, don't they bother you? She puts her hands on her side and straightens up, displaying her unusual height. Is this another sick game of hers? If so, tell her I'm not interested in either her head or her offers. You notice the sudden movement of her golem. Okay, what about jobs? She stands still for a moment, then cocks her head to the side. I've got some stuff that could use another hand. You up to some danger if it comes to it? Sure. You nod and ask what sort of creature is bothering her. Nah, I meant riding and climbing. If you can do it without grabbing that axe of yours, fine. Now give me a moment. She opens one of the heavy doors to her house, and you catch a glimpse of a messy bed and a floor covered with clothes. After a minute, she shows up with a large sack filled with rods made of smooth, clean bronze. Here's the gist of it. I need you to get to 8 spots across the peninsula. High buildings, trees, mountainsides. I don't really travel much. She lets out a confident chuckle. So I can't hold your hand? I need one of them in the White Marshes, in the wetlands far west of here. Other than that, you need to keep your eyes open. She takes one of the rods. Once you reach a good spot, place one of these as high as you can. I'll pay you in dragons, 2 for each one, but place at least 4 before you come to see me. I need as many of them out there as possible. Okay, what are they for? Well, there's magic in them, as you imagine. You weigh the rod in your hand. Even though it's more than 2 feet long, it's light, empty in sight. You could bend it on your knee. The bag also contains a long hemp cord and a scrap of cloth. If I were to send my golems away, let's say a mile or 2 from here, they'd stop moving at all, waiting for me to show up. She approaches the nearest sentinel and touches its chest. They carry similar rods inside, so the plan is to give my orders better range, so to speak. I'm tired of depending on hirelings, especially since they no longer stop by. She leans against the golem with her arms crossed. Questions? How much time do I have? Oh, don't worry about it. She dusts off the golem's arm. Let's say before the leaves turn yellow? Sure, why not? Technically, I could also use these at the tree, I think, because they're magic, but I probably shouldn't. Alright, and there's a lot more questions I could ask, but... Oh, yeah, why did you ask me to place a rod in White Marshes specifically, actually? That's a good question. No? Why? She scratches the ground with her foot, then points at her golem. I still need to do a bit of work with the sentinels, but I hope to offer one to them, maybe in the spring. It could replace 10, 20 humans. The villagers may not have much food right now, but I know how to be patient. That's very pragmatic of you. What can I say? She brushes her long hair with her fingers. I'd rather be safe and then sacred. Understandable. Have you ever been to the shortcut? Only once, she admits, slowly, and it's not a good memory. Her brief tale is rather vague. She once had to use her golems to travel to the other side, seeking a remedy for her stomachache. The beasts were afraid of the noises they'd make. She points at the massive stone legs of her creations. But the monkeys in the far west were too dumb even for that. They kept throwing things at us, even poop. Oh, I think I remember those monkeys. She pauses, making a disgusted grimace. We couldn't reach them or scare them away. You ask what happened next, but she crosses her arms. I was told it's better to ignore them. Let them get used to one sight, but my stomach was better already, so we just took the long way back. Ah, gotcha. I think that's as good as I'm gonna get right now. I can think of some possible high places to put these. I don't know, like the Elder's Cave, maybe? Old Pagos. There's the rock slide, blocked by an earthquake. The fallen tree. I need to figure out who can help me with that. But I can make it to the Pelt of the North before nightfall, so I think we go, and we go now. So that we can actually get some rest. We've gotten a little bit done today. Lights are promising refuge, the guards have bows and spears in their hands, and some rush to the gate, only to close it again right after you ride inside. Bored with life, Roadwarden? One of them grumbles. Haven't you noticed it's almost dark? I'm fine. Not really, but let's see. Do I have anything you'd like to buy? No, okay. Do you have anything? Dang it, I meant this. Dang it, I was hoping to possibly get some healing potions. Any leftovers? Dang it. Can I go to bed? Hey, that'll get me some healing back. Do I immediately give it back to the tree? I feel like I've given the tree stuff before, right? I did. It must have counted, right? I hope it counted. Because if it doesn't count unless you do it right, then I don't know how we're gonna do this. Alright, well, we'll rent a room. Get some nice and coziness. You think about the sparse clues you found about Asterian's whereabouts. If it's true he was looking for something beyond the peninsula, maybe using a boat, the old tax codices you looked through years ago could provide you with a hint. There's only one large piece of land close to the coast, High Island, a massive green territory surrounding a volcano with its surface spread high above the ocean's surface. It's a wild, forsaken place that used to belong to the tribe of the Green Mountain. But ever since the army of Havlevin failed at conquesting it over 2 centuries ago, ships have been staying away from it. The rumors about the treasures hidden in the caves around the volcano were numerous, but not more reliable than the regular sailor tales. Come to think of it, even though you remember both official documents and vague scribbles focused on this potential source of wood, fish, and ore, you've seen not a word dictated to the tribe, and neither to the description of its homeland. Someone must know more about this place. I bet the Gale Rocks people know about it. They were acting very suspicious, but every time I mention him, people act a little suspicious. Any leftovers? Dang it. Have you heard anything about High Island? I've heard this name somewhere. Let me think. He looks around, then picks up a mug and tilts it to peek inside. Oh right, it's the savage wilds around the volcano. I asked the locals what's with the smoke that can be seen from time to time, but they don't know much about the place either. I'd ask some sailors if I were you. Yeah, Asterian probably went that way. About Glockia's band. Oh yeah, okay, alright. Let's see. Go outside. Ooh, you found enough clues to believe that Asterion traveled to High Island, northwest of the peninsula, and hasn't been seen ever since. So far, you know almost nothing about this place. I need to ask the locals about it. It's more reason for us to travel, I suppose. Journal updated, find the Roadwarden. We're learning. Okay, well, where else could we go? How do I get rid of the creepers? Do I need to talk to Orentius again? I need to go to White Marshes anyway, right? The cabin, foraging grounds. I feel like I need more health before I mess with the tree again. Oh wait, don't I have like a one-time healing thing from him? Could I use it now and then feed the tree again? Let's find out! I may have already used it. Let's see. Ooh, I could ask you. Oh, and I could do this. Oh yeah, I'm hurt. I'd like to collect my reward. Wait. What if I travel, do the thing, come back, and then use the reward? And then do it again? I just really want to get this done. I want to help Old Pagos. Let's do that. Maybe it's a waste of time, but we gotta figure it out. Okay, approach the altar, offer my blood. Slight cut on the palm. Your blood spills on the altar and sinks into it before it gets to the edges. The sound of moving, stretching branches occurs almost immediately. Okay? Let's go back. Hey, I'm hurt as fuck. Can I have my healing? There we go. He reaches for your hands. Now the less you blink, the less time it will take. Focus. You look back into his eyes and join the time in its chaotic run to entropy. Through the blue flowers, butterflies, the sky, you barely notice the waves of Numa that crawl through your arms. Oh, Utica is the enchantress. Okay, now I remember the name. Have any hunters from Creeks visited you recently? Here in the opposite corner of the peninsula? Most people do nay have a beast to carry them for miles, stranger. His playful tone suddenly gets worried. Or did their struggles with meat get so grim that they ever considered such dangerous trips? He takes a deep breath and leans back. I can nay force beasts to jump under one's blade. The forest would nay trust me anymore. I need to learn more about High Island. His eyes widen. Come again? You move your lips slowly as you repeat your question, and he grows suspicious. Why would you head for that forsaken land? You explain briefly what you've learned about Asterion. The elder listens patiently, but then straightens up and raises his voice. Even his accent gets thicker, as if he's repeating an old sermon. The feet of the living have nothing to find in these ancient woods and their ruins. 'Tis but a graveyard of a tribe long driven out, and their memories deserve to either be forgotten or shared by their descendants. He remains in the same position for another few breaths, then lowers his shoulders and scowls at you. City spies ought to forget it ever more than most. Okay! Hostility! Can I place one of those bronze rods, though? He takes it and observes the rod for a moment, then closes his eyes and bites it gently. When he returns it, he seems unconvinced. I sense a spirit in it, but I'm nay the one who can tell who's behind it. How can I be sure? You explain you know about the nature of the rods, but he changes the topic to Utica herself. Another minute passes by before he accepts that you do indeed know her. Fine, I'll ask for her story next time I see her. Go, but away from the spring. Don't break your neck. Even a child could get to the higher parts of such a rugged cliff, though you have no reason to expect all the loose rocks to be cleared. Alright, let's hopefully do this right. The bronze rod is attached to your back by a cord. As you place your feet and hands on the rocks, you realize that you have to move slowly, maintaining your balance, pushing away small and large pebbles, making sure that the wall doesn't collapse under your feet. The rocks are coarse, supporting your grasps, and you barely find a sharp spot. The climb resembles a nice summer walk, though your muscles are not prepared for such movements. You find the perfect spot, a small crack between two massive rocks. You use the rod to broaden it just a bit, then push it halfway in and fill the gaps with a rag. Doing it with one hand makes you dizzy, but not for long. Take a short break to catch my breath. Climbing down is easier, though you struggle to recall exactly where you had previously placed your limbs. The warm sun eases your tension. After a few minutes, you land on the soft grass and dust off your hands. Once again, you prepare your equipment. The druid gives the shining rod a pouty look. And you know what, while I'm here, before I brutally injure myself again, what do you think about the snake bait? He needs only a breath to recognize it. Ah, 'tis snake bait. He leans a bit closer. 'Tis nay that rare, and nay many people need it. You'll learn that it's infamous for its alleged power to lure serpents and saurians. Could I use it to get Asterions? When consumed in moderation, it makes a shell more responsive to stimuli and makes periods of sleeplessness easier to bear. Juice from a single leaf is enough to induce hallucinations or an addicting sense of dreamlike euphoria. Using a large dose at once or small doses too often leads to frailty or death. Alright. Well, let's not do that. Let's instead get this beholder done. Maybe he'll trust me more to talk about High Island if I figure this out. Reach the crossroads. The tree branches are now much longer and they keep swinging gently. You also see more roots breaking through the water's surface. The smell of the water hasn't changed a bit, but the cold breeze brings refreshing air from the meadows. I approach the altar. Now how much do we want to offer this time? All of it again? Maybe all of it. People in the comments were saying it was going to take a lot. Fuck it. Your blood spills on the altar and sinks into it before it gets to the edges. The sound of moving, stretching branches occurs almost immediately. I approached the weird fruit that has suddenly appeared. It appeared in just a couple of moments, transforming from a button-sized sphere into a large fruit. While its shape and size resemble an apple, it's also pale, entwining in whites and grays and bone. It's divided into a number of slices, like an expensive toy made of marble. The tree is now larger, taller, but becomes silent, once motionless, sated in its hunger. Your farewell gift is awaiting for you. Why would I get in the water? I am injured. But you know what I just saved, and I kind of want to see what happens. I enter the water. Ooh, I am really gross now. I'm also really injured. I just look really bad. You take off your clothes and step into the warm, bubbling fluid, surrounded by the stench of dead shells. Oh yeah, that's why. Why did I do this? Look, I'm not durable. I'm not very wise. I'm just a Roadwarden. I can't be more than that. The water is shallow, but your feet don't lay only on mud. With every step, you touch tree roots of various sizes, thicker than a spider web, covered with just a thin layer of dirt. The bow begins to lower itself, greeting your presence. All it takes is a gentle pull. The fruit is hard like bone, smooth like polished granite, and just as cold. You look at the tree, but nothing else grabs your attention. You're wet, smelly, and the wind is almost painful. Alright, return to my clothes, hide the fruit in a sack, rinse my shell with clean water, and get dressed. I got it! Okay, hang on. I'm gonna take a closer look. I want to thank the tree. Oh, okay, fine. I'll hug it one more time. Just one big... No, hug! There we go. That's my thank you hug. And now I travel back to the old druid. To prove he can trust me, I brought it back. I'm so fucking hurt. A shiny empress carp with orange and golden scales swims near the shore, hoping to get some tasty scraps of bread. The druid is sitting on the shore, keeping his legs in the water and observing the spring. His gaze is a bit absent, and he notices you only after you tap his shoulder. What do you need, traveler? Hey, I'm fucking bleeding out, but I have that fruit. He straightens up and takes the fruit gently. Ooh, sacrifice the seed to help others. What could we have done? He straightens up and takes the fruit gently, then carries it to the cave. When he returns, he bows his head to you. I'm astonished, traveler, I am. It must have taken a lot, but we're almost done with it. Yeah, it did fucking take a lot. I had to drain my vitality like 2 times. More than that with what we did before. If that counted. Return to me once you're ready to take me to Old Pagos and back. But nay later than the early afternoon. I may help us push away the wild animals, but I'll be too weak to protect us from the creatures of the night. We need maybe even 6 hours. We have the time. We have the time. I'm ready. Let's go. Without a word, he walks through the metal door and leaves you alone for a few minutes. Once he returns, he holds a red staff in a linen bag, which he gives to you. I'm old. You'll carry it, he states matter-of-factly. Okay. I'm just bleeding out over here. I'm seeing 7 of you, but it's fine. He's changed into similar pants and tunic, but their greens, blues, and reds are lively. You don't see any stitches or patches. Still, he looks like an old commandant, not a priest. As you lead Joffrey down the path, there isn't much of an opportunity to speak with the old druid. He looks around, observes the plants and the sky, but hardly ever glances towards you, and never long enough to have a chance to read your lips. I follow him north. To Old Pagos. The locals drop their tools and head to the road, observing your approach anxiously and bowing to the elder. The commotion spreads to the other side of the wall. Wait, are we at Old Pagos? Oh no, we're at Howler's Dell. Oh god. Wait, why are we at Howler's Dell? The commotion spreads to the other side of the wall as the villagers call their friends and families to gather around. Behind the open gates, you're welcomed by a tunnel of onlookers. The druid raises his hands and waves to no one in particular. He moves forward silently, not interested in what he sees. Once you get to the fruit-bearing trees, you turn right. Crossing the bridge is not easy for an old man, but he doesn't ask anyone to hold him, instead putting his weight on the staff and taking slow steps forward. The welcoming committee awaits you on the islet. The druids are gathered on one side while a group of elders are on the other. Theus stands in your way right before the second bridge. When you reach her, there's a long silence. I don't want to step on any toes. I'm just gonna stand here. I'm letting this happen. The mayor welcomes the elder with a nod. We're honored to see your arrival, Forest Speaker. I hope you do not want to leave us already. She puts her right hand on her chest and chillingly titters. There is no trace of her city accent. The elder's tone is both firm and polite. I'm nae here. If there had been another path I could take, I would. He looks around, observing the nearby faces. I'm glad to see you in good health. This place does nae need me, and thanks to this stranger I can reach the people in great misfortune. Good day! Elphys steps forward with fingers clenched around her staff. Beholder has been awoken. Our people have a right to its seed. You're robbing us of a fruit for which we've been waiting since spring. Her cadence is indistinguishable from your companions, and you notice their stats have an identical length. Oh gosh. Maybe I should intervene? I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm stepping on toes if I do, but also I'm the one who poured my blood into it. I'm almost dead. Can we just leave? No, the elder's agreeing with me. Old Pagos is gonna die if we don't do something. They need this fruit. I made the sacrifice. It belongs to me and I get to decide. And this stranger has chosen what none of you is brave enough to do. The man sounds like a disappointed teacher, and you realize he has heard the druidess voice without looking at her lips. Eva, you, Elpis! He points at the pale druidess with his staff. His hand is shaking. To think you would dare to claim our holy totem as your belonging. Your soul is marked with corruption. He looks around. You who believe you deserve the seed. Do they understand who you are? How lost you are? He moves his staff around, pointing at various faces. He wants to move forward, but the mayor puts hands on her sides. In her eyes, you see an unfamiliar glimpse of fear. You've already eaten the seed once, so speaker. Do nay make us use force. He knows what he's doing. I trust him. There's a reason he said he would go somewhere else if he could, but he's mad at them. I'm hoping he has a plan. A good minute passes by before the elder speaks again. My wife, welcome to this world, Thais. I myself voted to use the seed to heal your weak bones. Oh my god, wait, Thais is his kid? I do not believe you have fallen so far. Our journey illuminates, no doubt. But you're but a brigand! Only you can hear his sigh. Enough of this. Be gone. He doesn't wait any longer. He steps forward and the mayor gets out of your way, observing the two of you with fear and fury. You cross the bridge, then open the gate. The man returns to silence, but his back is bowed, shoulders drooping. Oh man, that sucks. But he's right, we have to do what's right. But also, I don't think anyone's gonna want to see me in Howler's Dell again for a little bit. But it's fine, we're almost there. Old Pagos will welcome us, right? Where are we now? The man stops near the clearing and leans on his staff, contemplating the clearing silently. When I was but a brat, nay a bow was trimmed without a greater purpose. Nay only for humans, both for the trees and land. Pinching the spirits was a misdeed. He turns to you, observing your lips. I've heard tales of great sages, from before the days of the emperors, who restored such lands with a single spell, brought them back to life, helped us find forgiveness, the right path. Where are these sages now? Those are just stories. He glances at the dead trees, made up by those who dream of salvation. But do they know what they need to be saved from? Who thinks there's a balm that will cure a soul, the fate itself? He resumes his walk. I follow him. I am but a follower at this moment. I'm here to help. We made it. The hills are bright and colorful. The tall grasses and flowers dance with the wind, unaware of the countless grasshoppers, butterflies, and mice that romp and prey among them. Dark green birds are circling above the walls and cliffs, arguing in tongues unknown to humans. With every breath you take in the summer and its dusk, the drying ground and the promise of rainfalls, as well as the pinching smoke coming from the funeral pyre set in the center of the village, cutting the horizon like a column weaved from shadows. As time goes on, the old man's walking pace slows down, observing the land around you with great interest. His keen eyes stop on trees, bushes, and flowers, though it's the crops on the plateau that make him stop for a bit. After a minute or two, he speaks. The plants want to fall. They need nay more than 2 rains. The farmers need to come out right after dawn. He doesn't look at your lips, just turns around and approaches the second ascent, once again slowing down to climb it without your help. I'll tether Joffrey. Enjoy some grass, my baby. The man awaits at the gate and reaches out to you. You give him the bag that he gave to you back at his shelter. You do nae have to stay away, but it will nae be pleasant. He sighs. I'll come out soon, and we'll leave this place right away. The village may be cured, but that does nae mean the plague is cleansed. We can still be infected. Oh God. He raises his red staff and uses it to knock on the gate. You don't wait for long for the dark-eyed woman to open the peephole. This time, there are not that many people around her. Let me in, says the druid. The peephole closes right away. After a few minutes of moving the wooden bars, the gate opens slightly. You have a couple of moments to look around. The few buildings, you notice, are unlike anything you've seen in this province, made of materials that resemble the rock faces seen on this very hill, with tiled roofs and stone walls. The gate closes gently. I will stay right here. Oh, nice! Oh, thank goodness! You hear footsteps, voices, crying, heavy objects that are moved around. For a couple moments, everything calms down, but then a sudden wind strikes you, pushing you away from the wall. Your skin tingles, then your shell convulses. Your stomach hurts, you want to spit out something that you can't comprehend, like a dragon with a breath of pestilence. The feeling stops suddenly. You wipe the sweat from your forehead, feeling a weird relaxation in your limbs, a lethargy under your control, something you'd feel after a long training or a day of hard work. You take a deep breath. And the wood, stone, smoke, ground, and grass spark a new sensation in your nose, some sort of sharpness that you hadn't perceived before. Regain control of my shell. I still look like shit, but I'm not bleeding out anymore. Oh wow! We made it! Only now do you notice the gate is open, and that the old man is right next to you, kneeling, leaning forward, breathing heavily. He opens his bag, pulling out the weird fruit that you gave him. With shaking hands, he detaches the first slice of its skin, but before you take a good look at it, it turns into a gray powder and slips through the man's fingers. The rest of the fruit follows its example, covering the soil with an ash-like dust. The thing that remains resembles yet another fruit, or a cherry-sized seed, levitating in the middle of a floral ribcage. The man observes it for a few breaths, then reaches for it with 2 fingers, squishing it softly, then puts it in his mouth. During the next minute, he gets up, grins at you, dusts off his knees, and takes a few steps forward, which turn into a dance like skipping. He then descends from the hill, without a word. You hear the joyful calls of the villagers, their hysterical laughter and name screamed at the sky, welcoming those that have woken from a long dream. I prepare my horse, and I follow the druid. We did what is done. We did what we needed to do. And now I just have to make sure he gets back alive. We have 7 hours and 15 minutes. We should get there in time. We can rest, probably not at Howler's Dell. Maybe we could stay with him, but probably not. I don't know. We'll see. For the first hour, the elder swings his staff around like a conjurer in the marketplace and hums to himself like a drunkard. His walking pace remains stable. As time goes on, the frenzied state fades out. At first he returns to using his staff, then gives you his bag. He looks down, hobbling, and finally asks you for help. Get him in the saddle. I can walk. I am not bleeding out anymore. Thanks to whatever the fuck that was. You help the man dismount, realizing how light he actually is. Holding your shoulder, he points at the bench near the spring. You help him sit down and place his staff and bag nearby. He's smiling, covered by sunbeams, stretching out his legs, leaning back to rest on the warm rocks. We've done a good job, he says quietly, but clearly. Now all we can do is hope they'll stop cutting down trees before the wild creatures push them into the sea. After a moment, he opens his eyes and looks at your lips. Thank you for your assistance. I wouldn't have been able to help Old Pagos without you. And I thank you. 'Tis one of those strange things that make us different from so many creatures. We may nay belong to a single pack, yet we've joined our strength, pursued the same goals. He looks at his small garden. Save the lives of others, just because we could. Our souls do make me wonder. He sighs. I want to get some sleep. If you need anything else before you leave, now is the time. I think I should ask. I deserve to know what happened to the ruined village. He lowers his head, but keeps looking at your lips. And what do you think happened? It was destroyed during the Wrath of the Herds? He frowns slightly. 'Tis not everything that happened. Pillaged by humans, then destroyed by monsters? He lowers his head. Yes. You see our shame. I see. Okay, but I need to learn about High Island, too. He looks you in the eyes, then nods slowly and enters the path leading down the hill, and gestures for you to follow him on his stroll. During his speech, he never glances at your lips and doesn't ask if you have any questions. Centuries ago, a great tribe used to live on High Island. Hunting, farming, mining, fishing. He observes the pond as it gets continuously more muddy. Prospering. The volcano, the Green Mountain, is naked since its last eruption a few years back, but wait another generation and the wilderness will cover it again. There's a sudden movement coming from the grasses on your right, but as you look in that direction, you notice that a deer is just observing you, though at an unusually close distance. 'Tis name a place to paint their suffering, but what is nay a secret is how they've been treated by Hovleven. Join us or the sea will be taken away from you, they've heard. Corsairs had surrounded the island and attacked anyone on sight, waiting for the tribe to surrender. He can't cover the growing disdain in his voice. After a decade, the 10 cities breached the shore, tired of waiting. Cloaked by night, they crossed the walls that were raised to stop beasts, not human-shaped creatures. With farms burnt, supplies taken, and harbors destroyed, the tribe saw no future for itself. Yet, instead of bending to the will of the Emperor, they left on their last hidden ship. At least, those who survived. He takes a deeper breath. The city folk resettled the island, but had no knowledge of it, or its weird seasons. Beasts and eruptions crushed them, as they had crushed the previous dwellers. There was nay a single soul that would gain from all this suffering. I see. Then why would Asterion go there, just for the treasure? That is such a risky place to go. Nothing is worth that. That is a place of suffering. The man observes the bloody remains of a rabbit lying at the side of the road, and after maybe a minute, nods for you to follow him back to his garden. To land there, you have to reach the island soon after dusk, when the sea rises. Only then can you reach the cave hidden behind one of the waterfalls. I do not know which waterfall it is. He observes you, making sure you're listening, and you'll do better by speaking with the tribe of Green Mountains before you attempt it. 'Tis their land, and you ought to nay to trespass. Of course. Oh, gathering a crew. According to what you've learned, you can only reach High Island by a boat, leaving the coast during the day and landing at nighttime during high tide. A chance that you're going to find him there on your own is slim, so I need a boat and maybe a few friends or mercenaries. Okay. Alright, that's something. What can you tell me about the tribe? He considers your question and finally looks at the sky, making his long hair fall on his back. Listen closely. I'm not going to say anything else. He takes a deep breath and turns towards the pond, observing the current. The road is in the far east, one that's now abandoned. Is nay showing the truth. Look for a brook bridge made of stone. On its northern side, turn east again. Go along the stream. It will be rough at first, but soon enough you'll get to the game trail, then a mountain. Climb it to reach the village of the tribe of the Green Mountain, who follow traditions older than any of ours. This grim tribe avoids the outside world. Right's followers have hurt them deeply. If you want them to share a stew with you, this is what you should tell them. I'm a freedom seeker, a friend of the speakers of the forest. Say these words like an unwanted guest looking for a roof. They do nay want you there, but prove to them that you're willing to listen. Nay, just speak. He turns towards you. There's nothing else to say. Thank you. Thank you, Elder. You are the most awesome person. Honestly, the most awesome person. You have done so much. You've helped me so much. I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without you. I wouldn't be alive without you. Neither with Old Pagos. Thank you. I'm not gonna impose. I know I could rest here, but I really shouldn't. I know I could probably go to Haller's Dell, but I feel like I shouldn't. I want to go this way. This is towards the new place, right? If we go there, then we could go to the tribe of Green Mountains. But also we could go talk to Old Pagos. Oh, I don't know. But now we can go this way too. To reach High Island, I need a boat. I don't have a boat. Where do I get a boat? I guess we'll have to see. I can't get there before nightfall. I can't get to the ford. I can get to the northern road, funnily enough. Creepers, you can't get there before nightfall. You can't get here while the creepers block the way. Let's just go to... We'll stay at Pell to the north. I feel like that's the easiest place to rest without drama. Because they're going to talk to us here, probably. They probably have a lot to say. We'll stop at Old Pagos. And then we'll see about going... Because I also need to ask about the people for Utica. And, maybe figure out where else we can put those thingies. We have one right here. Maybe... There's a steep house. Oh, shoot! I need to plant that plant! Wait, let me look at it. Okay. Utica sapling. Maybe... Can I get to the ruined village real quick? I think I could. This is the ruined village, right? I think so. We have time. Let's go look. You pass the area where you and the scavenger encountered dragonlings, but the only thing left of them is a few puddles of blood. Nothing goes to waste in the wilderness, that's for sure. At least there are none here right now. Okay. The village remains dead. I return to the barren fields. You're surrounded by barren fields. The path leading west from here ends together with the field, shifting into a meadow, then a forest. In the north, you see a passable path around the palisade. East from here, you see a road leading south and an abandoned building. Let's use the weird sapling. I'm supposed to wait a little bit. I think we have enough time. Let's place it. You remove the linen sack and shake off the soil from the roots, then dig a hole and plant the sapling in the middle of the field. Just to be sure, you don't water it. All you can do now is wait, so you brush Joffrey for a bit and make sure the saddle doesn't bother it. When you return, the planet's dark from sickness, dried up, withered. The field must have been corrupted, though seeing how there are already some plants growing from it, the spell is fading away. The curse is most likely as old as the last harvest. Oh, I could use my education. Ooh, cursed soil in a jar! You look for a proper clean container, then crouch down and fill it with some soil, removing any rocks and remains from the plants. During those few minutes, you only find one worm. Alright, well, it's clearing up, but it's probably not going to be okay for anyone for a while. We'll go somewhere else. You feel a slight aching in your stomach. Let's go find shelter. Hell to the north, here we come. You're the only people who probably won't be mad at us. Or that we can reach. We could probably go to Old Pagos, I'm just not sure how long we should give them, you know? Since the plague could still spread. Maybe we do a circle? We go and we, like, circle around and then see if I could find other places to place that. Let me just take a peek real quick. Tall places. So we place something right here. Maybe we place something right there. Old Pagos, maybe. Gale Rocks, definitely. They're in the mountains. Maybe over by the creeks. I gotta figure out how to remove this fallen tree. I wonder if anyone could help. Let's see. Let's go to the inn. And, I already asked for leftovers today. Okay, let's get some rest. And fix our appearance up a little bit. Because we are bad. But, the Beholder is done, and Old Pagos is cured. The shivers wake you up. You hear the hunters leaving the building. You look through the window, but the fog is so dense you hardly see the wall around you. Still, they are being patrolled by the night shift, which places torches and carries lanterns. I stay inside, hoping there are no curses carried by the fog. Hopefully that isn't saying that I cursed everybody by planting that. There wasn't fog when I went there, I think. I'm sure it's fine. The small room is quiet and far away from unwanted eyes. You take a calm bath, rest on a soft mattress, look through the window, and enjoy a few minutes of safety. In the morning, you find a stool with a large wooden plate bearing an aromatic breakfast. A decent stew with white bread to dip. Downstairs, the innkeeper is putting firewood on the stove. He asks you if you need anything. Leftovers? No. Alright. Well, we have gotten a lot done today. I think let me see. Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to go to Old Pagos just yet. I'm not sure entirely what we should do next. The Beholder is done. We took care of that. There is going here. I would be interested in talking to the tribe, and maybe figuring out where else we could put those bronze rods, because if we can place those, then we can hopefully get some more dragon bones and maybe buy that crossbow. She gave us 8 times 2. That's only 16 dragon bones, but that's more than we have right now. Even if we can't get the crossbow, we can at least survive. We need to figure out how to get a boat. We need to explore a little bit more and maybe go to Howler's Dell, but, you know, we don't have to talk to them right now. They're probably really mad at us. There's a lot of other quests we need to do, too. We've got a lot to do, but at the very least, at least Old Pagos is okay, and maybe we can check on them next time. Until then, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourself. Remember to eat some apple juice and cookies after sacrificing much of your blood to a tree, and have a good day.